Yo, yo, what's good? It's your boy, Coach Carl, coming to y'all live. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. I told y'all what was going to happen last night on them boxing matches. Told you what was going to happen. I just came from a two and a half mile run and negative 5 degrees. Man, it's tough out that junk. Player. Get it real. Keep it 100. Man, I went outside today and I was dreading it. But guess what? The work still got to get done, y'all. Told you when God made me an example. Meant for me to lead from the front. So I appreciate y'all logging in and hitting the like button before I even see your name pop up on the screen. Gotta wash these lungs out with this water now, man. How many of y'all watched the fights last night? There was a lot of fights last night. Who watched the fights? There was some good ones. But look, what y'all got going on today? That's the question. What you got going on today? What's going on your schedule? I know y'all got some stuff popping off. Know y'all got something popping off. Talk to me. What's cracking in y'all neck of the woods? You see your boy looking all good. Coach called and jumped in on the jank. I come a little early today, man, because I've been out running. When I come in the house, man, first thing I want to do is talk to some people, man. I gotta get my spirit back. That run took away my spirit. Yes, sir. Man, talk to me, y'all. What's cracking, man? What's crack-a-lacking? Man. Hope y'all having a good day no matter where y'all at in the world. Hope y'all having a good day. And when you come in from a run like I just came from, you be questioning everything. You be questioning your life. It was negative 5 degrees outside. That's 5 in the wrong direction. Man, what up, dog? What it do, man? Hey, man, I just came in from one of the craziest runs a brother ever want to do. Negative 5 degrees, 11 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, on a Sunday. I should have still been in the bed. But I went on out there and got that work, though, because I got to be an example. In order to be an example, you got to do the work. You can't expect to show nobody how to do it if you're not willing to do it yourself. So with that being said, y'all know what the deal is. I went on out there and got that work done. Man, what's going on with you? Love himself. Dodro 888. What up, dog? Straight from Russia. What it do, man? It's your boy, Coach Carl, Mr. 58 is the new 28, straight from USA, Virginia. Checking on my people today. See what everybody got going on. See how y'all feeling out there. What's cracking? Did y'all go to bed late? Go to bed early? Man, I was in the bed last night, 2 a.m. in the morning, and back up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Y'all know how your boy gets down. Y'all know how I do things. Hey, look, man, if y'all new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't let it pass you by. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Say you got to translate. Translate. Go ahead, bro. Look, translate this. Ha, pa, 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 pa. Bop, 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 bop. Translate. Translate boxing. Russia. My man in the house. What the rest of y'all got going on, man? Sincere Worthy 7. Oh, what workout should I spam today daily in the house? Oh, should you do daily in the house? The 50 package. 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 squats, 50 jumping jacks, 50 forward and backwards arm rotations. And then you can go outside and walk for 30 minutes. And if you can't go outside and walk for 30 minutes, do the same routine all over again. This me, Shorty. What's good with you, dog? When do I got to vote for that award, man? You got to vote now. The vote now. The vote is out. Go to my post. It's a post on my page. Just a post. And the post says vote now. And all you got to do is hit the button. Am I real? Carlos James, you know I'm real. I'm as real as a dollar bill. Tyson, haha. How you doing, man? I'm doing good, player. I'm doing great. Hey, look, what up, Sincere Worthy? What's good with you? What's good with you? Good day to all y'all, man. Did y'all watch the boxing matches last night? Anybody up here happen to catch the boxing matches? We've been talking about them boxing matches for a minute. So you like that Bruce Lee picture in the background? Appreciate it, dog. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, this me, Shouty. Said he got to get off of here and go vote. Man, holler back at your boy, man. Don't disappear. Hey, look, y'all watched them boxing matches last night? Anybody up here watch the boxing matches? Let me know. What y'all got going on today? T.O. really thought he could outbox Shakur. No, he didn't think that. He knew he was going to lose. That's why he was acting crazy before the fight. Doing all this. All this crazy stuff. And out there dancing. Yeah, he wouldn't dance. He didn't do enough. Yeah, he ain't do enough. Shock put on a clinic. Hey, look. And look at Jermaine Jermaine Ortiz. Talking about he going to knock out Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis said, who? You ain't knocked out nobody. You got to rethink that one. I love how them boys underestimate them young bucks until they be sitting in the flow. And Keyshawn Davis dropped the boy early. The boy barely got up. Then he dropped him later. Homeboy said, you should rap with my voice. I used to be a rapper, man, for real. I was a rapper in 1987 and 1991 on a record label. Went by the name Cool Call. So they always said I had a clear voice. That's why rap just kind of flowed out my mouth. I had a clear voice. I go to a bad microphone and still sound like a good rapper. James Howard, what's good, dog? Agabello, everybody talk mess around Key for what he did outside the ring, but inside the ring, he always put it on point. Believe it, dog. You see what he did? Hey, look. He outboxed old boy. Old boy couldn't do nothing from the gate. Then he dropped him. Then he finished him. Had to drop down in the 12th round. Couldn't even finish the fight. Wonder what he thinking right about now. Wonder what his post conference was like last night. Hey, buddy, do you drink any big cups of watery? I don't drink no water. I don't drink nothing that's green, bro. Only thing I drink is water and protein. And my protein ain't green. Yeah, but I drink a gallon of water a day. And I drink 4 plant-based protein shakes every day. Dark chocolate. That's how I get down, bruh. Don't drink nothing green. Let's see. No one cares. Just get off the line and you only have... Hey, look, who cares how many people I got? Look at how many people I got on my channel. Hey, look. You just go on by yourself. You go and do what you been doing. Looking for somebody to disturb. Just go and do what you been doing. I don't come into your job and tell you cook them fries faster. I don't mess with you at the jelly joint trying to put tops on jelly jars. Hey, man, wonder who this sucker is anyway, man. Why Gory. I'm going to Google you. See what you're about. Don't try to get off the line while I'm trying to Google you. I know how cats be doing. They be trying to get offline, trying to hide that they a sucker. Somebody always trying to count your people. Hey, look, I don't care how many people I got, man. It can only be one person up here. That one person and me gonna have a conversation. Aw, man. Come on, dog. You this type of guy. A video gamer. Just like I said, a sucker. Online. You own anything. I'm looking at your channel right now, bruh. Looking at you right now. YREGORY. Got 8 videos and 9 subscribers. Come on, man. Get off of here, man. Get off of here. Ninja Q7934. What's good with you, dog? What's good with you? Man, that was a lit card yesterday. You bought the pay-per-view. Hey, look, I told you, Ninja Q. I told you. Watch what was going to happen. Keyshawn Davis, a real G, man. Hey, look, Jermaine Ortiz talked all that trash, and guess where he ended up at? In the floor. In the floor. And Teofimo, all this stuff he was going to do. He had all this speed and all this style. He going to trap people. Same thing that Brian Norman Jr. said about Devin Haney, but couldn't trap him. Got dropped. And then Teofimo last night he couldn't land more than 7 punches a round against Shakur. He couldn't land more than 7 punches per round. Man, dude, I'm telling you, man, them 2 young bucks was whipping up some folk last night, man. And look at Shoo Shoo out of New York City. Look at Shoo Shoo. Dropped the dude, man, straight like a bad habit. Man, hey, look, then Teofimo had the nerve to say, I let him do what he was doing because I was trying to get him to come in. Hey, man, you couldn't do nothing when he came in. You couldn't chase him either. You couldn't cut the ring off, man. Your daddy taught you everything about how to cut the ring off. You couldn't cut the ring off. You couldn't stop him from moving. He didn't even go nowhere. Shakur ain't even go nowhere. Couldn't even go nowhere. Bro, it looked like he schooled him. He did school him. Both of them boys schooled him. All 3 of them cats. Shoo Shoo, Keyshawn, and Shakur, all of them won in great fashion. I try to tell people, man. Tell them. I said, Shakur ain't got no major power, but he got major technique. That's why I tell y'all, you don't need power to win fights. You need to know how to box. Claim your throne. Hey, look, it's funny to have a lot of suckers up here on Sunday morning simply because y'all ain't got nothing better to do. But I ain't mad with you, though. Soon as I see you, I'm going to delete you, so you won't be up here that long. You know what I'm saying? You might be up here for a few minutes. But if you say anything that don't make sense, I'm going to get you out of here. This me, Shorty, teacher. I'm waiting on my queen woman to get back because I got to verify my, on Facebook. Okay, that's what's good. Hey, man, I appreciate the effort, though. Appreciate the effort, though. His dad ain't a good corner man. His dad doing too much of this. Him and his dad, they on the same page. I told y'all, Teofimo, the reason why I wouldn't vote for him to win, Teofimo then became something like a politician. He think he's a philosopher. He think his words mean more than his fight game do. People don't listen to you for your words, bro. They listen to you for your hands, bro. And your hands won't doing nothing. Your hands won't doing nothing. Lord Uno 555, what up, man? His dad was drunk and high. His dad always drunk. Teofimo always tore off the frame, man. He might not be doing drugs, but his mind gone. His mind gone, man. I try to tell y'all, these guys ain't no real boxers, man. They were boxers when they won't box with nobody. Now, that's what I'm telling you, that's what the world do. Promoters will build up a guy with a big mouth before they build up a educated, religious-based boxer. They'll build up a guy with a big mouth because they figure he gonna talk his way into something, and that's what he did. He talked his way into a butt whipping. That's exactly what he talked his way into, a butt whipping. And these guys ain't no boxers, man. They only boxers, man, when they not boxing nobody. Teofimo done had his day. What are you gonna do now? You done lost to a guy that you've been talking mad trash to. That's sort of like Errol Spence losing to Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence ain't came back yet. He been out of the game for over a year. He couldn't took that whipping. And then when Teofimo took that whipping last night, he gonna do a couple of press conferences and talk about how Shakur running and how he ain't had no power and how he was on his off game. He hurt his shoulder last night. He gonna say all that, right? He gonna try just to try to build him up for another fight. He even started talking about Terrence Crawford last night, like he get knocked out by Terrence Crawford. He started talking about him last night. Yeah, man, whatever, man. T.O. is done. He can't go down to the lower end no more. He can't go higher no more because ain't nobody at the top gonna want to deal with that mess coming to the press conference, doing like this, not looking at the guy in front of you and all this. And then he, like he in his own world, man. That dude is a spaced out king, bruh. Sup, bro? All the way from Seattle, Douglas Black. Buff Boy, 8791. What's good? Ninja Q, I'm excited for that Keyshawn versus Haney and Shakur versus, but they probably ain't gonna let Shakur versus Conor Ben. I ain't got nothing on Shakur and Conor. And Haney and Keyshawn, they ain't gonna fight, man. Hey, look, the one thing you gotta learn about boxing, if you don't know nothing, you say you heard it from me. It's a lot of guys that start talking at the end of the fight. That's to sell the next fight. You remember, think back to when every time Mayweather won, he talked about Pacquiao. Every time Pacquiao won, he talked about Mayweather, but they took 10 years to fight. They build up the hype, man. Then you start saying Mayweather fight a guy that fight like Pacquiao. Pacquiao fight a guy that fight like Mayweather, just so that they can kind of get ready, but they're never getting ready. It's just a gimmick, man. It's to keep us logged in, keep us lined up for it. But the reality is, Keyshawn is not going to fight Devin Haney because Devin Haney is at the top of his game right now with the belts. He don't want to fight nobody that's going to potentially beat him. He ain't going to want to fight Keyshawn. Keyshawn want to fight him, and Keyshawn don't mind taking the L, but Keyshawn at the same time realize his skill set is probably not going to let him take the L. So Devin ain't going to take that fight yet. They going to talk about it, but they ain't going to be about it. As far as the Conor Ben and Shakur, Conor Ben just wanted to get his name out there. It's almost like when you got somebody jock riding. He realized that Shakur was a guy that he could jump in the ring and talk trash to. They let him in the ring. And the reality is, it's nothing but it's a smoke show, dog. They're not going to fight. First of all, Conor Ben in 2 different weight classes, way higher than Shakur. And last night was Shakur's first time fighting in that weight class. So you think they're going to give him another shot, another weight class up? And then Conor Ben, when he fought Eubanks, he put a strict rehydration clause so that Eubanks couldn't gain weight during the off time, before they fought. Like, when you weigh in one day and you fight the next day, he couldn't gain the weight back overnight. So Shakur said, I'll fight you if you put that same weight clause in there. You had Chris Eubanks energy drain. I want you the same way. He was like, no, I ain't going to do that. So that means the fight ain't going to never happen. It's just a bunch of mess. But Conor Ben can fight Rolly, but he'll probably beat Rolly. Rolly is just one time. Rolly is like a one-hit wonder. If the real Rolly come in the ring, he throw power shots, but Rolly ain't really got the same boxing level. He ain't on the boxing level. Conor Ben will beat him to death. And Boots versus Ortiz, that should be a good fight. But once again, who is Ortiz compared to the level of conversation we have on Boots? Boots is supposed to be this guy that's got all of the tools. He like a Shakur. He like a Devin Haney. He like a Terrence Crawford. But yet he fighting guys that are not on the same level as him. So we don't know what to think about him either. He'll beat Ortiz, but who cares? Yeah, who cares? Yeah, they all jiving, bro. They all playing the game. Look. On Sunday morning, they all talking about who they want to fight in 3 months. Them ain't none of the names. Trust me, they got a book full of names, and the names that they telling y'all ain't even in the book. Canelo versus Ben is 2 difference in weight. Ben got to go up like 10, 15 pounds to meet Canelo. Y'all got to understand the game. It's a lot of fighters out there, man, and we don't know. Man, it's like 50,000 fighters out there, bruh. So it's a whole lot of fighters to choose from. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna keep moving them names around until we keep getting some matches. The goal for them is to put a guy in front of them that is equal his talent but not as good as him. If that makes sense to y'all, it's equal his talent on paper, but really not as good as him in that ring. A quick question: it's extremely hard for me cooking for myself when living with family. I want to keep it extremely simple yet easy to make. Any advice? It all depends on what you eat. I mean, I don't know. Because I'm vegan and my family is not vegan. I cook for myself, and it's easy for me because I mainly make vegetables. I eat fruit. I eat nuts. I drink protein shakes and eat protein bars. That's it for me. So if it ain't in the house, I can't eat it. I just came from the store. I was out on my run, and I stopped by the store and bought my dinner for the day. But man, when you live with other people, look, you still got to stay focused. The biggest thing is stop eating what they eat. Don't eat what they eat, because what they eat, it might not be what you eat. You know what I'm saying? What are my thoughts on Ben? Conor Ben is a decent fighter. I think he got a little hype going right now because he beat Eubanks the second time. He was quiet after he lost, but he beat him on the second try. So now you're gonna hear a lot about him. Why? Simply because he's on the hype trail right now. He can talk a little bit all the way up until he fights somebody. Now the goal for him is to not fight nobody that can beat him. And Coach called, will Errol Spence make a comeback? I sure hope so, because Errol Spence was a talented guy. He lost to one guy, and then he jumped. That just goes to show you what people's mentality is. He lose to one guy, and then he want to quit the whole game. Look, man, it happens to people, man. Everybody can't hold that O, bruh. That O ain't as important as you think. There's a lot of people out there winning good fights and making good money, but they ain't got an undefeated record. Where you think Keyshawn Davis will end up in 2 years as a weight class status? 147. Everybody want to get to that 147. Like back in the day, super heavyweight and super heavyweight was the lick. Now that 147 is where all the champs at. That's going to be where everybody reside at 147. You got guys come down from 160 to 147, guys come up from 130 to 147, and they're going to meet in the middle. So it's going to be a lot going on in that division. Give it about another Shakur just fought at 140. So give him about another 5 or 6 fights. And if he don't see nobody in the 140 bracket, he going to stoop up to 147. It's easy for a smaller guy to make 147 because he don't got to do a lot when it comes to losing weight. You can't see Shakur walking around at no 160. He too small to be 160. His framework is to be too small to be 160. So he can't hover between 140 and 150 and fight at 147. That's where all the money at. And you bottom line is Shakur got the skill set. You ain't got to have power to be 147. You got to have skills. Remember, Mayweather was at 147. He controlled that block. It looked like Shakur, a dude who trained one thing 1,000 times, and T.O. do the opposite. T.O. ain't even a good example of somebody we want to talk about as far as a boxer. T.O. is a mouth. That's what T.O. is, a mouth. He's a distraction. That's all he is, a mouth and a distraction. He want to come to the press conference and act silly. He want to train dancing, and he want to do everything. He one of them boxers that just want to play around when they get in the ring. But, you know, we don't really want to see that. We want to see a boxer that want to box. They want to put forth a lot of effort so that he can make an attempt to win. What's good, Guy Rogers, 5458? Coach, what up? What's your ingredient for your protein drink? Man, my ingredient's simple. I drink OWYN. The protein stands for only what you need. It's 140 calories. It's 20 grams of protein. It's got something like 8 carbs and like 4 grams of sugar. And I don't mix it with nothing but water, dog. I'm old school, bro. I don't mix my stuff up. Because the more you mix it with, the more it got in it. He is my favorite fighter. I'm from the same area as him. My dad grew up with him in Oak Cliff, Texas. Who we talking about? DK Mark. Who we talking about? Okay. We talking about Keyshawn. No, that's the wrong person. Okay. Coach called Errol Spence. Oh, Errol Spence. That's what he is. Errol Spence a solid dude, man. He was a good, clean-cut dude. Farm on the farm type of guy. You can't let the weight get on you, man. When you lose, you can't start drinking booze. You understand what I'm saying? I'm catching crap trying to layer chicken wings and things I guess that means you're trying to eat some or you're trying to get some. So I have another question. I'm 135. I don't understand the kilogram thing. You got to break it down in pounds. I don't got my stuff downstairs to really look at the difference. 135 kilograms. I don't have any idea where to start exercising. I leave the house at 6:30 and return at 8 p.m. 6:30 a.m. and return at 8 p.m. But I don't have any energy. My evening yeah, you just got to dig for it. Nobody don't got energy. When I wake up in the morning, I come downstairs. I would prefer to not come downstairs to work out. But the reality is, the workout is for me. Everything you do between 6:30 and 8 p.m. is for somebody else. That ain't for you. That's for somebody else. I don't care how much money you make. You working for somebody else. So the bottom line is, the workout is for you. Come in the house before you even change your clothes. Do a basic workout. If you got a lunch break, do a basic workout. You got to get your heart stronger. Otherwise, you're going to be like those old men you see in your neighborhood that when they get off work, they just sit on the porch and drink a beer. They get old right in front of you. That's what 58 starts looking like 58. You got a choice of how you want to make your 58 look. You're going to reach 58, but how you make it look is up to you. So even if you can't exercise in the morning at 5:30 to 6 o'clock, then still be at work by 6:30, then do it on lunch break. I don't care if you don't do nothing but 50 squats and 50 push-ups during your lunch break. Take a bite of your sandwich, do 10 push-ups. When you swallow it, take another bite, do 10 push-ups. By the time you finish eating it, you done did 50 push-ups. We got to make it work for us. You got to find the motivation to get yourself in shape, because I don't want you to be like some of these guys I know when they're laying in the bed looking at the ceiling and they're in the hospital. The only thing they're thinking about is what they didn't do. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy, so you got to start now trying not to be that guy. Do you think Shakur and Davis will be forced to fight? There's no thing as forcing somebody to fight. The only thing they can do to force two guys like that to fight is money. And they both, if you're a millionaire, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? What's the difference? If you're a millionaire, if you got $1 million in the bank, what's the difference? The thing that people don't seem to understand about the two of them is like the Charlo brothers. You ain't gonna never see the Charlo brothers fight each other. You know what I'm saying? You don't see brothers fight each other, and they consider themselves brothers. I watched them grow up together. I know what they mean when they say brothers. They've been through the trenches together. They done sat down and talked to each other about their problems, about their relationships, about their lives. They talk on the phone every day. They train together. They in training camps together. One will put the other one on the card just to keep them active. These guys ain't gonna fight each other. And if they do, I'd be surprised. But it's too many other people out there to fight for them to fight each other. I had two sons that fought. One son, well, they both were about 5 pounds difference. I let one son gain 2 pounds to fight in the next weight class because I never want them to fight each other, period. It changes the game. It changes the relationship between two people. So you can't do a push-up, then do a plank and hold it until you can finally do a push-up. You know what a plank is? It looks like a push-up. Get in a push-up position. Hands stretched all the way out like this, just like you're in a push-up position, and just stay there. Put a watch in front of you and try to do 30 seconds at a time. If you can do 30 seconds, then do 1 minute at a time. Take a minute off and do another minute. It's called a plank. It works on everything up here, and it eventually gets you ready to be able to do a push-up. You can do squats. You might can't do push-ups, but you can do squats. A squat ain't nothing but put your hands right here like this and squat down. That's all a squat is. Go down as far as you can. If your butt can touch the back of your heels, then you're really doing a squat. If you can't, then do as far as you can. Let's see. You think Shakur got one of the best jabs in the game? I think he got one of the best jabs. Yeah, one of the best jabs in the game. He ain't got the best jab in the game, but he got one of them. I seen some guys throw a jab so hard it snap your head back. Shakur got a nice jab though. His jab is a diversionary tactic. What a jab does is set up other punches. As long as you paying attention to my jab, I can hit you with something else. Plus, a jab is a measuring stick. So if I'm jabbing you, I know where you at. I know where you at the whole time. That's why you stretch your arm all the way out. So when you get past, then when you get past the jab, I hit you with something else. Devin Haney or Shakur, who you got? That's a tough fight. I like to see it, but it probably ain't gonna happen no time soon, because you're talking about two guys that are at the top of their game but still got about 10 more fights to go before they really at the top of their game. When they in the 30 and the 40 fights and they got nothing left to gain, that's when you're gonna see that fight. They're not gonna make that fight now because it's gonna kill the money. And I ain't a fan of chasing the money, but that's what it's gonna do. It's gonna kill the money. Because if one of them lose, he gonna automatically, his value gonna go down by like 50%. So they got the same style basically, man. They both pretty much do the same thing. Just one's left-handed and one's right-handed. That's why if you watch them spar, watch them spar. Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. It's online on YouTube. Watch them spar. They look the same. They both gonna have the same amount of tricks. It's gonna be an interesting fight, but they both about the same. Oh, you said trying to stop eating them. I ain't know what you was saying, man. Sometimes, man, y'all confuse me with this slang. Hey, look, man, you know how you stop eating chicken? You put it down. You know how you stop eating honey buns? You put it down. You can stop eating anything you want to stop eating. There's not no rule to say you got to eat something. Just put it down. That's all you got to do is put it down. If you put it down, you won't eat it no more. Find a diversionary. There's always something else you can eat instead of that. You know what I'm saying? Put it down. It's just that simple. Somebody asked me the other day, what's the best diet? Putting the fork down. Hello, sir. Sorry to bother you. Not bothering me, bruh. I don't know what a gazelle punch is. People come up with names for punches, man, but it's something somebody made up. I ain't saying it don't exist, but they come up with names for punches so they can identify the punch. So they can, when they call it out in training or call it out in practice, or when you're in the corner, they say, throw the gazelle punch. I don't know what a gazelle punch is. You know what I'm saying? Man, Shushu versus Nick Ball would be an interesting fight, yeah, but it ain't never gonna happen. See, they got their own line of people that they want to see fight other people. And they're not gonna want to see the fights that we want because they more of a boxer against a boxer. And they don't want that. They want a boxer against somebody that looks like a boxer that can't box. That's how you build a record. I know guys that fought bums for the first 10 or 15 fights and end up 15-0 with 15 knockouts. And then the first thing y'all start thinking is he's great. He's not great. He just ain't fought nobody. But that's the promoter's job, is to find a guy that looks like a boxer, acts like a boxer, and trains like a boxer, but can't box. Hope Davis okay? You must be talking about Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is in the clink right now, trying to fight his way out of there. You can't keep doing all these crimes, man, and keep getting away with it. Eventually, they're going to put a tag on you, bruh. They're going to put a tag on you. Eventually, they're going to give you some time. He already been in the joint a few times. He been on house arrest, talk trash to the judge. Yo, man, you know, sometimes, man, people, you can teach a man how to make money, but if you don't teach him what to do with it, he going to end up spending it in the courtroom. The 10-10-1, what's good, dog? And I don't know what that means, but I appreciate you being up here. Make sure y'all hit the like button while y'all up here. And if y'all not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I used to think Tank would beat Shakur and Devin, but I don't know anymore. No, Tank is good, but Tank is good at what Tank do. There's always somebody that come out that's better at what they do. The thing about a good, solid puncher like Tank got decent skills at everything, but solid skills at that left straight, that left hook, and that left uppercut. But when you fighting another guy that understands your talent, you got to remember, Shakur got the same left uppercut, because he's a lefty just like Gervonta. So you're going to be fighting a guy that's equal your talent. He might not be as strong as you, but he moves better than you do. He's in and out with that jab. He's willing to work, while Gervonta gets anxious to try to knock you out. Gervonta don't mind losing half the fight to get that knockout at the end. But you can't lose half the fight with the wrong person, because I'm sure that they would train Shakur to stay away from that big left, and then Gervonta just going to get beat the whole fight. And that's why Gervonta never fought Devin Haney. He can't get in. Devin Haney is an expert with moving around. He can't get in. What do I think about people comparing Shakur to Floyd? I mean, it's an accurate comparison at this stage. They're not saying that Shakur is as good as Mayweather was at the end. They're saying Shakur is about where Mayweather was at the beginning. Maybe not the knockout power, but he understands the game of boxing. He's slick with it. He can move good. He can throw good punches. He can see a lot. He ain't running from you. He's just getting out of the way of your punches. People think Don't get it twisted, because people think that boxing is about two guys climbing in the ring, putting on gloves, and just banging each other out. That's not boxing. That's MMA. That's why they made MMA, because it was more of a fighter's fight. Boxing is the skill of hitting without being hit. It is not the other way around. It ain't hit and then hit the other guy back and then let him hit you again. Didn't Haney get booed by Garcia? I don't know, but Haney can't be. Haney is undefeated. So the bottom line, no, said did he get KO? Oh, you said I said thought you said booed. He said didn't Haney get KO'd by Garcia? Yeah, but Garcia, that fight got washed away because they found this much drugs in Ryan Garcia's blood work. And if they found that much, it was more in there before then. It's just that some drugs will work their way out of your system. So during the time he was in training camp, whether he did it or somebody else did it to him, somebody was giving him something to make him stronger, to make him faster, to keep him paying attention. And by the time the camp ended, it was still a small fragment of it in your system. So when he fought Devin Haney, he was catching Devin Haney with everything. But at the same time, they knew that something was wrong, because he was catching Devin Haney with clean shots that was just like knocking him out like that. Like he was like 30 pounds heavier than he was. They got drugs out there that can help you do anything. But the reality was they caught him with the drugs in the system. Now, we would never know if he really could do that in reality, because we only saw him do it with the drugs. So that fight got wiped off the jump. Richardson Hitchens versus Keyshawn Davis. Richardson Hitchens is a good fighter, but he's not going to beat Keyshawn. He's the same kind of fighter, but with less talent. Keyshawn is just hungry. Keyshawn is like a demon in there. What the guy say, demon time? You want to see me on demon time? Well, that's what Keyshawn is. He's that kind of guy. He rises to that kind of occasion. And although Richardson Hitchens is good, he ain't that good. He fought one guy and beat him, and that was Kambosa. That's the only name that's on Richardson Hitchens' playlist that he actually played the tune the right way. He beat Kambosa, George Kambosa Jr. But George Kambosa Jr. been around the block. He took that last paycheck, and you might not see him fight no more either. Coach Shakur gave that stupid boy a lesson. Hey, man, we knew that. Ether, we knew that. Knew he couldn't outbox. He was going to try to box him, but he couldn't outbox him. This me, Shouty, my dog. Ether, Keyshawn won me some money at that last second. I bet on him to get the KO. Yeah, you can keep betting on that, because Jermaine Ortiz, he told Keyshawn he was going to knock him out, but Keyshawn laughed and said, who else you knocked out? He ain't knocked out nobody else. He was always that guy that's going to come close to being great, but ain't never going to be great. He need to fight some other people and stop trying to fight people at the beginning. Gazelle punch is the Hagler jump lead hook. Well, that's what they got. Hey, look, that's why I said everybody got a name for something. I throw a jump lead hook too. Coach feeling good. My nutrition going well. Hey, look, that's what I'm talking about, Delta Roots. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's a lot of people up here that can learn from your lesson. Hey, look, sometimes you got to go through the hard days to get to the good days. They said it takes 30 days to create a habit. So if you can do it for 30 days, you already won the battle. The rest of it is mental. Name me my favorite UFC fighter. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite fighter in no kind of fight. I just like good fighters. Stevenson versus Russell would be a good fight. Russell too old now. Russell ain't going to do nothing. And Stevenson would be stupid to come back down. Plus, Russell ain't fight 140. He probably could, but it just be a I think it would be an easy fight for Shakur at this point, because Russell getting older now. Russell, then, sometimes you can let your time pass you. If you want to learn how to throw gazelle punches, learn how to step, learn how to take a jump, not a step. This is a step. That's a step. That's a hook. Jump hook. That's all it is. I do a jump hook in some of my training videos. Say your hard time taking the first step to getting in shape. How can I motivate? Look, I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me one time. Look in the mirror and imagine yourself not being here. Look at your family And imagine what they would do without you. That's what you start right there. We get in shape not to get muscles. We get in shape to build life. You see what I'm saying? We get in shape not to build muscles. We get in shape to build life. If you can look around the room and think that nobody's going to miss you, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you got a child, if you got a girl, if you got a guy, if you got a job, if you got a career, if you got a business, if you got people that depend on you, then think about what it would be like for you not to be here and how they're going to survive without you. Somebody is using you for motivation. Somebody is using you for inspiration. So think about what you're not being here would do to that person. Then get in shape so that you can be here a little longer. Light switches. Got no respect for Floyd Mayweather. Won't fight the Irishman in MMA. That was supposed to be I don't know who the Irishman is. And Floyd Mayweather's 40, 40 plus years old now. He ain't really trying to fight nobody. That's just, not as a real fight. He only fighting celebrity events right now. Who I got next month between Barrios or Ryan? Barrios is a name. Barrios is not a good fighter. He's a name. He's a name that they used when Gervonta wanted to go up and wait and show somebody that he could beat somebody bigger. Barrios was nobody, and Gervonta beat him and gave Barrios a name. Just like Pitbull Cruz, he was nobody. Nobody knew who Pitbull Cruz was until he fought Gervonta. Gervonta that made these guys stars, but don't mean they stars. Remember, they all lost. So Ryan Garcia, better than Barrios. You seen how Shakur whipped that boy? Yes, I seen it. Watched it firsthand. He outboxed him. He made him swing at the air. I think my nutrition will be good once I move out, but I'm going to still try to make it good. Just not ideal. Hey, your nutrition will be better because where you live at don't have nothing to do with your nutrition. Where you live at has something to do with you. And just because somebody else eat it don't mean you eat it. Just like saying, I'll be better at studying God if I go to church. You don't need to go to church to study God. I'll be better if I went to this church rather than that church. God is in you. He's not in the church. Your diet is in you. It's not in the room. It's not in the kitchen. It's in you. I made my diet what my diet was when everybody around me was still eating honey buns and cupcakes and ice cream and pizza. I made my diet when I was in a room full of people that weren't eating the same way I was eating. I made my drink when everybody around me was still drinking vodka and beer and wine. I was drinking water. You feel what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Make sure, like my man, this me, Shorty, make sure y'all go to a post on my channel. It's a post on my channel that says you can vote now. And that means go on there and vote for your boy, Coach Carl. They got me in running to be Mr. Health and Fitness for Men's Health and Fitness magazine. But I advise you, don't pay for no vote. Just take the free one. Take the free vote. Don't pay for no vote. Abdullah Mason will get his butt whipped no matter who he fight. That's on that next level. Because Abdullah Mason, although he is good, he is young and he hasn't been tested. People see something good and flashy, and they just want him to be the next man. He would get beat by Shakur. He would get beat by Keyshawn. He would get beat by Lomachenko. He would get dropped by Gervonta Davis. He would get beat by the boy Ryan. He'll get beat by Ryan Garcia. He get beat by everybody because he's not on that level. They see a little young guy jump in the game and win a couple of fights, and the first thing they want to do is put him on the next level. You can't put him on the next level. You talking about that Russell. I thought you said, when you said Gary Russell, I'm thinking you talking about Gary Russell Jr. That's the only one that's making that kind of noise at the same weight that Shakur was at. You talking about Gary Antoine Russell. Because it's a lot of Gary Russells, just in case you ain't know. It's a lot of Gary Russells. The one I like was Allen. He was the one that was directly under Gary Russell Jr., but he stopped boxing and now he's a coach. Then it's Antonio. Antonio is before Antoine. Antoine's the youngest one. I knew them from back in the day. But Gary Antoine Russell is a good fighter. Different weight class than Shakur. Heavier fighter than Shakur. He be trying to fight around that 140 bracket, but he ain't making a whole lot of noise right now. But he's the one that beat Gary Antoine Russell was the one that beat Boots. Beat Boots in the Olympic trials. Tank, think he can retire, take time off, and then fight legal battles, but he gonna get comfortable. He ain't fighting. Tank ain't. I'd be surprised if Tank ever fight again. It ain't because of him just retiring to fight legal battles. It's just that his mind ain't in it no more. That's why he doing the dumb stuff that he doing. His mind is not in it. They set Tank up to make money, but didn't teach him nothing else. You got to teach somebody the mental side of making money too, bruh, because more money, more problems. Y'all remember the song? Yep. All that's correct. 5 line, whoop. It's never too late to start boxing. Is it ever too late to start boxing? Yeah, once you died. Once you're dead, it's too late. But nah, not in reality. This guy's 60 years old still trying to figure out how to throw ones and twos. Getting in the ring with 60-year-olds just for fun. Who's still a baby? 5 line whoop, who's still a baby? Abdul, oh, you talking about Abdul. Abdul is due time will be great. He can't do it any other way than fight the tough fights. He will take a loss or two, but to fight the guy that lose belt and then get it back. See, Abdullah Mason, as much as I like him, if y'all remember back, he fought on Keyshawn's card where Keyshawn didn't fight. Keyshawn was overweight at that card. Abdullah Mason got dropped 2 times by a no-name dude that just kept catching him with a hook. That's when I realized that any of the real dudes would beat the stew out of him. I didn't think he was that good from the beginning. Not at the beginning. You're not supposed to be that good at the beginning. Hey, look, Delta Roots say you juicing apples, carrots, and lemons with garlic. Oh, you doing what it takes to get to the next level. Yeah, he got dropped 2 times. Not once. He got dropped twice. And then the only reason he was able to drop the guy, because the guy hurt his leg. When the guy hurt his leg, I think probably throwing a punch or something. But when he hurt his leg, he was hobbling. So yeah, you know, when you hobbling, that's the same way Gervonta won a fight back in the day against Urocas Gamboa. Gamboa tore his Achilles heel. And at the point of the fight, he couldn't do nothing. So then Gervonta was just picking him off. Yeah, I know who Gary Russell is. I'm very familiar with him, but they ain't the same type of fighter. And they ain't gonna probably fight. And titles don't mean nothing, man. We like good fights. There's a whole lot of people that got titles that don't deserve them. Because they put you in a fight just like it was a vacant title last night that Shushu fought for. If y'all saw that fight. But who was the guy Shushu fought? That's the question. Now Shushu got a title. So then people comparing his title to the next guy that got a title. It might not be the same caliber of fighters. Gary Antoine Russell is a boring fighter to me. But, I mean, I watched him since he was in the junior, and I watched him when he was in the amateurs. He was boring to me. And Shakur is more of a flashier type fighter that kind of got a little bit more style and more class to him. But he beat him anyway because he doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot on the table. He remind me of Sean Porter. Get too close. Run up on a guy like he's trying to tackle him. Hey, look, say it's not mental when you broke. Hey, look, yeah, it's still mental if you think you still got to eat it. But let me tell you what to do. Go get a job. That's what everybody else do. Nobody complain about being broke when you're old enough to work. You only complain about being broke when you ain't old enough to work. Like I say, man, hey, look, I've been broke, but it ain't stopped what I was doing. Just because you broke don't mean eat the honey bun. It mean make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's what it mean. And look, the bottom line is if you're broke, go get a job. And that's how you keep from being broke. You don't gotta, hey, look, you don't gotta do what everybody, hey, look, you can't sit around and dream about what's gonna happen in the future. Hey, look, then take your time. Say you can't have a job where you at. I know people that live in Canada that's got jobs at the same age you at. I don't know what your let's stop right here because I don't know what your circumstances are. But I can tell you one thing: going to school is important, and I can tell you another thing: you can't complain about being broke if you're old enough to have a job. Now, whatever your circumstances are, they might not be what I'm thinking, and you ain't got to explain them on here. This is a live stream. Just understand something. Just because the next guy's eating it, don't mean eat it. Look, if the only thing they put on the table, then eat half of it. Florida is in the building. What up, Brian Floyd? Florida is in the building. A lot of people got excuses, fire line whoop, and that's just life. But the whole thing is don't put them up here. This is a live stream. Don't put too many of your excuses up here. Just come up here and tell us what you're trying to do and then work towards trying to do it. My thing is, if you eating bad, then work out harder. I ain't said that they always say you can't outwork a bad diet, but I seen people do it. I seen people work out 2 times a day, get past the bad diet. Stop hollering about skipping school. Stop hollering about dropping out of school. Holler about going to school and getting all your stuff together. Life don't magically become and don't fall in your order later in life. Life don't just magically get there. You got to put it there. Sup, coach? Just left the gym. Did a wrestling workout. That's what I'm talking about, dog. That's what I'm talking about. I'm never broke, just temporary out of cash. That's most of us. Yeah, because I know I know what I can do to get more money. And I ain't got to hustle to get it. Florida here. Hey, Jones, Brandon, let's go. I do it, laugh out loud, work out more. Yes, sir. I avoid bad food, just not an ideal diet. Well, look, then do what you got to do. Like I said, do what you got to do. The bottom line is, I've seen people be in bad situations where they're only eating pork beans and Franks for dinner, and they're only eating cereal for breakfast, and they eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at night. But you know what they did different than what most people do? Is they worked out in the morning and they worked out at night. So all them extra carbs and all that extra sugar, they worked that out. Them boys were still cut up. I seen a dude eat 2 bologna sandwiches for dinner and still look like he was cut up from the butt up. The bottom line is you just got to make what you got work. Don't complain about it. We won't know it. We won't know you got a bad situation until you tell us. So just take your situation and make it work. Then tell it to the press after you'd have made it out. Tell them, say, you don't know what I had to go through to get here. It's a story then, but right now it's an excuse. Don't make it an excuse. Make it a story. Head into the store to get some sweet potatoes, fruits, and veggies, then go work out. That's what I'm talking about. I love sweet potatoes, man. I ain't had none in a while, but I like them, though. I have a meal today that's white corn, yellow corn, carrots, asparagus, and red potatoes. That's going to be my meal for today. And I got them protein bars, them plant-based protein bars. I got that plant-based protein drink. And oh, I got an orange. I was going to say something else I got, and I got an orange. So, oh, I know what I did. Oh yeah, I ain't bought a vegan plant-based burger in a while. I bought a Dr. Prague's vegan burger, plant-based burger today. It's just the patty. I got to cook it. I ain't had one of them in a minute. It's 2 in a box, so I'm gonna eat one of those today with my vegetables. I'm gonna chop it up and put it in my vegetables. Because all day yesterday, I had to taste for something that had a meat-type flavor. And I used to eat vegan crumbles and boca patties and plant-based chicken patties, but I haven't had none of that stuff. I haven't had no patty of any kind in like 6 months. I just been going on the vegetables, the fruit, and the nuts. But sometimes you get a taste for something. And I had a taste for it yesterday, but I wasn't going to the store because I already had been to the store. I don't go to the store but once a day. Y'all know I go to the store every day. Once a day, I go to the store. Man, I'm going to tell y'all what I did this morning. I ran 2.5 miles in -5 degrees. Came in the house, took off my jacket that I had on over top of this hoodie, and put on this hat because my gray hat I had on was actually sweaty. Sometimes, man, you got to do what you got to do. I was out there, bruh, and I'm telling you, it's cold outside. Had that mouthpiece in. I don't know why that mouthpiece feels so good when I'm running, but it do. I like that mouthpiece, man. I don't be playing. I did shoot a video. I'm going to probably post on one of my social media channels. I won't doing nothing, just running.
Sunday morning, -5. Guess who outside though? It's your boy. Cause work don't get itself. I gotta do this work. If I want something, I gotta do something.
I was cold and I got tired. Cause that wind going down that throat, hey man, ain't nothing but the joke, bruh. That's the joke. Wind going down the throat. Good morning, coach. Tea time, 6 o'clock. I see you in the building. Good morning, coach. Mark Clark, what's good? Jones, Brandon, let's go. Brian, I'm never broke. I'm just waiting to get to payday. Hey, look, I know a lot of people that living like that too, bruh. Plain and simple. I know a lot of people living like that, waiting on them paydays, bruh. Them paydays is coming though. When they come, it's all about what you do with the money. Always take a 10 out for yourself, bruh. Put it to the side. Take a 10 out. You know, back in the day, I've always been a barber. I'm gonna tell you what I used to do back in the day. I work all week. Got a load full of money, right? Don't know how much money it is because I don't count it. I don't count it till Friday. I would close my eyes, stick my hand into the middle of the pile, pull out one bill, and put it in the shoebox, and shut the shoebox, put it back on the shelf. And one day I went in the shoebox, and I had some like $400. I was pulling out a 50, pulling out 100, pulling out a 20. I didn't miss it because I had never counted it anyway. That's how you trick yourself sometimes and make money. You better say, yeah, man, that cold air good for them lungs. What's my favorite era of boxing? I don't know. I like all of them because they all offer something different. The Muhammad Ali era offered one thing. And then after that, Sugar Ray Leonard era offered something else. Then come Mayweather in that era. And then after that come Terrence Crawford in that era. It's a whole lot of eras in boxing. You can't pick one. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. Because it's so much, like right now, we got the young bucks out there. We got 25, 26, 28-year-old guys out there doing their thing. So you know what it is. You got to just be like, hey, look, I like them all. I like all the eras. Ain't no one era better than the other one. It's just that we go back and look at some past time stuff and we start thinking all that stuff look real good. But there's a lot of stuff out here right now that look real good. Like, it's a lot of fighters out here right now. I'm very interested in seeing this cat y'all know named Benjamin Whitaker from overseas somewhere, London somewhere. That boy bad, man. He remind me of a lot of the fighters that we grew up watching, like Hector Macho Camacho, Sweet Pea Whitaker, Roy Jones. Ben Whitaker got style, got class, got hands, the whole nine, man. There's a lot of work being done out there. Make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all gonna be online, and if you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe, and let's keep the conversation going. You think Tank versus you, son, in the amateurs would have been a good fight? I don't know. Tank in the amateurs was a dog, but I mean, it is what it is. Styles make fights. That's what happens. Styles make fights. In the amateurs, it's a different game. Tank's game in the amateurs wasn't as good as his game was in the pros. Why? Because in the amateurs, you only fight for 3 rounds. 3 rounds. And Tank was in the amateurs young, so he was still fighting 3 2-minute rounds for a long time. And you ain't got time to set nobody up. Tank then went 10 rounds getting his butt whipped and knocked the guy in the 10th round. But you couldn't do that in the amateurs. Are you saying MMA is better? Because I don't know what better is. I think you meant to say better. And if so, MMA and boxing ain't the same. And one ain't better than the other one. It's just they're not the same. That's like saying I like karate because karate offer this and boxing don't. It don't matter because it's called karate for a reason. So people that study karate can fight in their own bracket. Boxing, you got to be a boxer. A lot of people, when they think about boxing, they just think about 2 guys with a pair of gloves on. They don't understand that it's more to it than that. Some people don't even consider boxing an art. It's an art. Watch somebody to really know how to box, and you'll understand the difference between a guy that's just got a pair of gloves on and been punching people, and a guy that know how to punch you, where to punch you, and when to punch you. DOSOMDIFF. What's good, dog? Salute, homie. Glad you on the channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all gonna be here. Make sure you hit the like button. Hey, look, say most street fights are hands first, then wrestling. All depends on who you fighting. Some of them don't get to the wrestling part. Some of them, the hands take you out. I know guys in a street fight that want to take you down before they do anything else because they realize they ain't got no hands. And when they get you on the ground, they still can't do nothing because they don't know how to punch. You getting slapped. All depends on the street fight. Kimbo Slice didn't try to pick you up. He tried to beat you down. Back in the olden days, when people were doing street fights back in the 40s and 50s, they only took you down because they got tired. They took you down because they got tired of chasing you around. Hopefully gonna find you a boxing coach. There it is. There's plenty of them out there. Just make sure you know what you're looking for. Make sure you know. When you go into a gym, if you don't know what you want, anything will do. And trust me when I say that. If you don't know what you want, anything will do. You'll take anybody that say they can coach boxing. You got to know what you want. You got to have an idea, a grand idea of what you think you want to look like, what you want to be like, who you want to fight like, and if this guy understands why you there. Because sometimes you go in the gym and you say, I want to be a boxer, but you ain't tell the guy you want to go slow. You want to learn it. In one hypothetical fight between Mike Tyson and Tommy Morrison, who would have won? I don't know. In their prime, Tommy Morrison was a beast. Mike was a beast. But, Tommy Morrison got sick. And that was that. Hey, look. You said one leg kick and a boxer is done in a street fight. Maybe, maybe not. All depends on the boxer. Every boxer ain't the same. We just ain't going to stand there and wait for you to kick us in the leg. And look, sometimes you might get hit before you throw that kick. I can't imagine you kicking Mike Tyson in the leg and the fight being over in Mike Tyson's prime. Guys like Sweet Pea Whitaker, you would have never been able to kick. People always want to make one sport superior over another. And that's like saying an apple is better than an orange. They're two different things. Why this grape don't taste like this strawberry? They're two different things. Why that bike rider can't run fast? It's two different sports. All the dude saw was somebody beat somebody up in MMA and think that every boxer is going to go down the same way. Try it and see how it works. Hey, T.O. fans already knew what they were getting. A mouth. That's all they was getting. Almost 58, I'll take 15% body fat. Hey, look, that ain't nothing but the way you eat. You can train all day, but if you're not eating right, laugh out loud, it's every boxer hit you with. Laugh out loud. I don't understand what you saying, dog. You said laugh out loud. It's every boxer hit you with an oblique kick. You mean if every boxer hits you with an oblique kick? I don't know what he's saying. Boxers aren't to be played with. Bottom line. How would ankle... I don't know, man. What is this guy talking about, man? Let me put this guy in a timeout. He confusing me, man. I don't give him some time to think about what he's saying. I don't know why you didn't know it was going to look like that. Shakur got a better boxing style. I told you that. I told everybody up here, I said, you're looking at a boxer versus a mouth. A guy that fights radically. A guy that don't have a style. Most of the real fighters out here would have beat Teofimo Lopez. Keyshawn would have knocked him out. Them Logan boys got them thinking boxers are the least. Yeah, that's all it is. You see one boxer that look like garbage and you want every other boxer to be garbage. I don't know, man. You know the world is twisted, bang. The world is twisted. Everybody wants something to be like something else. That's why everybody trading in their BMW for a Ferrari. trading in their Porsche for a Corvette. You know what I'm saying? You got just why you can't just like the Corvette? Don't forget the reflexes that a boxer possesses. Even if you kick him once he gets to close range, I believe you have no chance. Even more if the boxer is Mike Tyson. Exactly. Dang, T.O. versus Keyshawn would have been a better match. No, it wouldn't have, because Keyshawn would have knocked T.O. out. Then there wouldn't have been no more conversation at all. He wouldn't have had to outbox him. He'd have just knocked him out. Hey, look, Lee the Great says Shakur's chin still hasn't been tested. A lot of people's chin ain't been tested. That's the whole reason for the game. Look, you ain't gonna sit back and let a guy hit you in the chin and then decide if you could take it or not. Do you ever seen Bruce Lee get hit in the chin? You know what 52 blocks is? Every block in 52 blocks is like this. You know why it's like that? So we can't get hit right here. Bottom line, you ain't supposed to get hit in the chin. If what you meant to say is, if he don't do right and somebody catch him, yeah, but he ain't supposed to be caught. He spent the whole fight protecting that chin. There's a lot of guys out there. Mayweather probably would have had a glass chin if you could hit him in it, but the whole thing was to keep you from hitting him. All right, hypothetical, I don't know, Conor Benn versus Shakur. Wrong type of weight, man. Wrong weight class. Conor Benn is heavier than Shakur. He walk around about 180. 170, 180. Shakur walking around 140. You got a disadvantage when a guy come down to meet you at a certain weight class. He's not in your weight class. Just because he can make the weight class on the way in don't mean he's going to be that when he climb in the ring. He fight at 147, but that don't mean nothing. You know how much, you remember you saw Eubanks when he came down to 147? Chris Eubanks nearly had a heart attack coming down to 147. A lot of people can make a weight class, but then that's why they got a rehydration clause, so you can't go back up. Because Conor Benn walking around 160, 170, probably 180. And then he got to come down to 147. That's why you got a training camp. But the bottom line is, he not the same size. Put people in the ring that's the same size. Lopez knew he had a better chance outcome with Shakur than David. Exactly. He knew that. Ben was always the better boxer. Yeah. But he got beat the first time, so he couldn't have always been the better boxer. He was the better boxer the second night. He wasn't the better boxer the first night. Hey, it happens. It's called boxing. When you're not getting your way, you know how many boxers go into angry swinging? Hey, that's why we used to say it back in the day, you get to swing from the fences. You're swinging from the fences. Like you're trying to knock a home run. But that don't work in boxing, not against a real boxer. You get mad because you're getting outboxed. Then you start swinging haymakers. But if you don't land them, what's going to happen? Every time you swing one and don't land it, you're going to lose a little bit more of your pellet power. You ain't going to have no power left. Shakur is king for right now. Hey, look, no doubt. I ain't going to take nothing away from the young buck. The boy working. It was still a brilliant fight. Of course it was. It was a great fight. When the better man won the first fight, the better man won the second fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the outcome would have been the same if Eubanks had started his diet early. He didn't start his diet till late. He tried to keep that muscle on, because when you go on a diet, you lose a lot of muscle and a lot of fat. He went on his diet too late, and he had to lose a lot of water. That's what you don't want to lose a lot of. That's why Lopez mentioned to Shakur about fighting Davis in a Showbiz interview. Yeah, he ain't gonna fight him. Davis wouldn't even fight him now. He's already showed he's right. Plus, who wants to fight a guy with that much antics? All that hoopla, talking about nothing, you know, praying at the press conference, not wanting to look at the guy and all this. He's a clown. He need to stay right where he at. What do I think about Haney? I think Haney's a great boxer. Hard trainer. Dad is a good coach. He learned the game. You got to remember, Haney started off in the Mayweather camp. That's why he ended up doing what he doing. That's why he looking the way he looking. He started off as a Mayweather fighter. He was being trained by Floyd Mayweather Sr. Then they left that building, went to another gym, and then his father started training him. I don't know why, but that's how it went. And ever since then, he's been undefeated. Well, how would Haney versus Keyshawn go, hypothetically? Haney versus Keyshawn. It'd be a good fight. Two equally talented guys. You know what I'm saying? It's all about who get the better shot that night. Who got the better game plan. Who got the better corner. Remember, I tell y'all about the corner. You ain't fighting the fight by yourself. You fighting the fight with your corner. And Haney been known to listen to his corner. So is Keyshawn. I mean, I can't take nothing away from either one of them. But that fight probably ain't going to happen no time soon. Why? Because you got two guys that are on the brink of being bigger, and they can soak a little bit more money out of the game, so they ain't going to fight. They ain't going to fight till at least 5 or 6 more fights. They too young to fight each other now, according to the way people promote fights. Unless somebody put that, let's Alice Sheik put that $20 million or something on the table, then they're going to be like ready to fight. Because money, you know, the Bible says the love of money is the root to all evil. So you put the right amount of money on there and everybody start fighting. I climb in the ring and fight tomorrow. You put the right amount of money on the table. I come right out this hoodie. And y'all know your boy stay in shape. Right amount of money, I'll be in the fight game tomorrow with no training. Was whose father a gangster back in the day? Teofimo or Devin Haney? Let me see. He needs to run it back with Garcia. Right. It's a waste of time because I don't know what that fight would do, and I don't think they know what it'll do either. George Foreman had a successful boxing career because his strength of his chin. George Foreman had a successful boxing career because his weight didn't allow you to hit him in the chin and take him out. You ain't never seen George really get hit like talking about in the chin because he blocked like this. He had the crossbar block. He ain't gonna get hit in the chin. Say Haney versus Keyshawn wouldn't start to the 7th round. Hey, look, that's a late time to start a fight if you're trying to win. You think he was talking about Devin Haney's father? Devin Haney's father wasn't a gangster, but I think he went to jail for something. I don't remember what for. Might have been like a drug deal or something. I don't know. I ain't gonna put nothing on the dude, but he went to jail for something. But when he came out, he had his life right, though. And now he ain't got to do nothing but the right thing. He got plenty of money, plenty of knowledge, and got a family that love him. Oh, yeah, he doing all the right stuff, bro. That's the recipe. People don't understand. You got to have a recipe. Your recipe's good. Everything else is going to be good. And Teofimo's father act more like a gangster. Like he should have been in the mafia. Did you coach U.S. Olympic boxing team? No. I don't know what none of that is. And no, I didn't coach the U.S. Olympic boxing team. You got to be assigned to coach Olympic boxing team. I coached guys that were trying to make the U.S. Olympic boxing team on the mission to get them blocks on my stomach. Oh, yeah. Well, you know how that go, bro. Hey, look, you can get them. All you got to do is keep working at them. Make sure y'all hit the like button while y'all online. And if you're not a member of the channel and love being up here with the rest of us, please subscribe today. And if y'all want to do your boy a favor, go to a post that I made on my page, and it says you can vote now. And vote for your boy to be Mr. Health and Fitness by Men's Health and Fitness magazine. Please don't pay for a vote. Just take the free vote that they give you. I tell people all the time, it's nice to be nominated for something. It's even nice to win it. But I don't care whether I win it. I just want to be in it. So with that being said, y'all go to my channel and vote. And let's keep this conversation going for a little while longer. And then I got to get off of here. You seem like wise Olympic coach. I feel like I have seen your pupils on TV. You might have. I mean, I've been places, man. You know how it go. Everybody been somewhere. You just can't talk about everywhere you been. I'm looking to get into boxing to get in shape and learn how to throw my hands better. Then you doing the right thing. Boxing will definitely get you there because the boxer got the best workout in the world. Going to jail isn't gangster. It just means you're stupid. Smart people don't get caught. Hey, a lot of smart people get caught. Hey, look, it is what it is. I know I told y'all a story before, man. I can't tell you what I did, but I can tell you this. I shouldn't still be standing here. Somebody should have killed me a long time ago. I should have been in jail for 100 years. But with that being said, I don't think I was that smart. I think I was that lucky. What is Moten? What are you trying to do with Moten? You mean Kermel Moten? Coach, what are your thoughts on Jaron Boots Ennis? I don't think about Jaron Boots Ennis until I see him fight somebody in the top 5. Not these guys they keep giving him. Fight somebody in the top 5. And you want to be known, as you want to be talked about amongst the greats, then fight somebody like the greats for it. Sir, which one is your all-time favorite boxer? I don't have an all-time favorite boxer. I just like boxing, all of them. I like all of them. So many people got so many things to dish out. I could tell you somebody that's from 20 minutes from my house, Sweet Pea Whitaker. Had so much to put in the game of boxing. Yeah, so you don't care how old you are, just got to eat right and think right. Bottom line, bro. Bottom line. I'm 58. I ain't got time to be playing games now. I ain't got a lot of time left. They say it's funny when you can look at your time you got in front of you and it's not as long as the time you had behind you. I got 58 years behind me. I wonder if I got 58 years in front of me. that'd be 116 years old. I don't know if I want to live to 116. You know why? Because all my family and all my friends, they all be probably gone by then. Oh, Kermel just fought. I think he just fought. Kermel Moten, I think he just fought. But I don't know when he's going to fight again. Let's pull him up and see. Because I know they was lining up a fight for him, but I thought he had already had it. I don't watch Kermel because he ain't fight nobody. But yet every time he fights somebody, they knock him out, then he's the champ. But you can't be the champ until you fought somebody. Let's see. Let's see what Kermel Moten look. They put all his amateur fights in with his pro fights, so you don't really know what's what. Sometimes they mix you up like that. Makes your record look like you got a lot of fights. I don't know when his next fight is. Let's see. Kermel Moten's next fight, February the 28th. He fights in the Resort Casino in Verona, New York. It don't say who he fighting. But he fight February the 28th, 2026. Let's see. Let me see. His last fight was in May. Okay. I can name 10 guys who duck boots. They ain't duck boots. Don't get to telling that lie. Ain't no 10 guys out here that duck boots that's in no top 5. I ain't gonna say, hey, look, I ain't gonna talk about Boots bad, but we're gonna say this. Ain't no 10 guys that duck Boots, because Boots ain't nobody. And he in the top. You can't, and look, we ain't gonna get it twisted. We ain't gonna make this a long conversation, but I'm gonna tell you this much. You can call out anybody you want, but that ain't who they're gonna let you fight. If you really, Boots got the ability to fight people. He could have fought anybody. He could have fought Devin Haney. He could have fought, what's the boy name? Conor Benn. He could have fought Brian Norman Jr. He ain't never fighting none of them people. He could have fought Gary Antoine Russell again, but he didn't want to fight him either because he lost to him twice already in the amateurs. One in the Olympics. He lost not in the Olympics, but in the Olympic trials. So he had a lot of chance to fight people, but his team is saying, we don't want to go that way. We don't want to go that way. We don't want to go that way. They wanted to jump over the line. Tell me what title Boots had to jump over the line to fight Crawford. He want instant success, instant fame. Come on, dog. Boots is a joke, man. When it comes to whoever, I don't know if Boots a joke, but somebody in his camp is joking. One of my favorite bodybuilders is still alive at 95 and he looks 70 or younger. Hey, look, it's a lot of them dudes out there because as long as they ain't taking steroids, they're gonna still be in the game. He's the biggest name at 154 for sure, though. Who is the biggest name at 154? Who's got the biggest name at 154, Ninja Q? Hold up. Damn, I missed something. Say Boots is the best boxer at 154. You think so? I'm looking at the list right now. Sebastian Fundora, Abaz Baru, Bakram, I don't know how to say his last name, Xander Zayas. He ain't fought none of them guys. How is he the best? Them guys got titles. How is he the best? You said Crawford, Spence, Thurman, Norman, etc. Hey, look, bro, Jordan didn't get that. I mean, Jordan, I don't know. You said Jordan. Man. Mayweather didn't get the hate for that. Mayweather took everybody that was on his list. If you were in the top 2 or 3, Mayweather didn't fought you. Just because you find a guy in the backyard and want Mayweather to fight him don't mean his team going to allow him to fight. Now, Crawford, Spence, Thurman, none of them guys, he couldn't have jumped over the line. Who did he fight that had a name big enough to put him in that position? You got to fight somebody. This ain't, we sit here and we negate all of the real information. You can't fight somebody just because you want to. You got to work your way up to that person. He got enough fights to have fought somebody. He been fighting cab drivers. Don't get it twisted, man. The guy got good skills, but he been fighting cab drivers. And I ain't lying. He been fighting cab drivers. There's guys out there right now. Go look, WBC, IBF, WBO, WBA. Who's the top 2 in every category? He ain't fought now one of them. That's how it go. You can't jump over there. He want to fight the guys. He could have fought Janabek. He could have fought Israel Londi. He could have fought Carlos Adames, or however you say his last name. There's a whole list of people out there that's 154. He want to go right over to Crawford. He want to skip over the line and go straight to the guy at the end. You know what I'm saying? What up, Bustin' Dustin? My dog, what it do, man? Look, Brian Norman tried to fight Boots, and he didn't want to fight. Then he came back and said he wanted to fight him after he lost to somebody else. Devin Haney. Oh, I would have beat him. Of course you would. You could have fought Devin Haney. He wouldn't make the fight for him either. He wanted a fight that he think he set up for. He sit in the crib and he say, that guy got a style that's tailor-made for my style. Just fight a guy. He couldn't beat Mayweather. And Mayweather, 40-some years old. Mayweather would drop Boots in his. Because he jump around a lot. You know what I'm saying? He jump around a lot. He ain't planted on his feet. He good, though, as far as I can tell. But there's a lot of names out there at 154. It's a whole list. Probably about 50 guys. Y'all name some guys. Keith Thurman old. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford at least 10 years older than Boots. What happened to the guys that's 2 years older than Boots? Or 2 years younger than Boots? He want to go up to the top guy so he can just take the title, and then he going to harbor the title. He going to hide it. He going to fight a bunch of people. People watch Mayweather and Jordan to see them lose. Well, that wasn't because Mayweather was fighting bums and nothing like that. Mayweather wasn't ducking people. Mayweather was fighting your favorite superheroes and telling you he gonna beat them. That's why people watched him to lose, because they didn't like Mayweather. They wanted to shut his mouth. Mayweather said he beat everybody, and he beat everybody. When he told Ricky Hatton, I'm gonna beat you in front of a arena full of your own fans. He started doing the Mexican Day fights because he wanted to take it over from the Mexicans. He didn't want them to have it. He took it. He started getting in the junk with a sombrero on. Mayweather fought them all. Fought Canelo when Canelo was considered a prime Mexican fighter and beat the stew out of him. Mayweather fought Castillo, beat the stew out of him. He fought uh, so many people, man. I can't even think of all the names. Mayweather beat everybody that they put in front of him. Everybody. Mayweather is not a good example, but they didn't like him though. They didn't like Mayweather. The commentators didn't like Mayweather. Remember the time when the commentator tried to talk trash about Mayweather at a press conference? He said, "You never liked me anyway, but that's okay. I'm gonna keep winning." Mayweather built his fortune. He's the only billionaire boxer that was still boxing at $1 billion. You know why how he made his fortune? He made it off of people that basically wanted to watch him lose, but he never lost. That was his motivation to stay on top of his game. While other fighters was at the club drinking beer, and drinking wine, and hollering at women, Mayweather was at the club drinking a bottle of water and running home from the club 15 miles. Yeah, you talking about some Jermell Charlo? Yeah, Jermell Charlo 154. There's a whole lot of them guys 154. Boots ain't fighting none of them. Put them days them days you own a barbershop, I bet you talk boxing. No, we talk about everything. And not a lot of people that come in there really know boxing. And there's nothing worse than talking to somebody that don't know boxing about boxing. Most people think boxing is two guys coming in the ring and just fighting each other. They don't understand. They think that guy can call that guy on the phone and say, "Hey, look, man, let's fight tomorrow." All right, go. They think it's like that. You can't, hey, look, ain't no sense in taking a lot of time talking to people that don't know boxing. It's a waste of time. Try telling somebody about your favorite boxers and see what happens. Oops. What up, coach? I want to see Haney versus Shakur. That'd be a good fight, but it probably ain't going to happen no time soon. Andrew Harper, my dog. Yo, fight last night was pretty okay. Wish fighters will just fight each other more. So you don't want them to box. You want them to do MMA or bare knuckle fighting. Because, when you watching boxing, y'all do know what boxing is. Shakur said it best last night. The same definition I had on my wall at my gym. My gym was called The Art of Boxing. And the definition of the art of boxing is to hit without being hit. Looked like T.O. got hit a few times, but he couldn't land a few punches. So then he said Shakur didn't want to fight. Okay, the fight was over. Y'all seen Shakur when the fight was over? He looked clean. Y'all see that big gash over Teofimo eye and one from a headbutt? It was from the knuckles. So he wasn't fighting the way you wanted him to fight. Keyshawn, you said fighters, you wanted him to fight a little bit more. Did he not drop his fighter? Shoot, did he not knock his fighter out? Come on, dog. Come on, Andrew Harper. This ain't MMA, bro. This boxing. Yeah, Boots has to take less money to be a draw. Yeah, but he ain't going to do that. He want the same amount of money. He want $50 million to fight somebody at $50 million. He could have fought Canelo. He ain't asked to fight that fight either. Charlo ain't duck Boots. It's just Boots ain't did nothing. You got to look at something, bro. When people start talking about making a fight, you got to look at if the fight's sellable. You know what? Just because we want to see the fight don't make the fight sellable. You know what makes the fight sellable? Two guys that have worked their way up. Two guys that have done what they needed to do to be in the fight together. That's why when Mayweather wanted to fight Pacquiao, the fight never happened because Pacquiao hadn't done enough. So then when Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez, well, you saw how that went. In 2012, when Marquez dropped Pacquiao, that pushed Pacquiao back in the line again. Look, it is what it is, man. Let me see, Charlo, them boys is way higher than Boots. Boots is like a kid to them. Why are you gonna jump down into the kid arena when there's so many people that's already got established names? The Charlo boys wanted to fight people with established names. So if they lose, nobody wants to lose to a nobody. And in the eyes of the boxing world, Boots is a nobody. He just winning on a smaller scale. That's why his fights don't make that much money. That's why he ain't selling out arenas. Say, "Hey, coach, I need help with my footwork and my head movement." Go online. Go to the search bar of my channel and put in footwork, head movement, blocks, shadow boxing, all of that. Just type it in. Everything you want to know, type it in. I got over 1,800 videos on this channel. Trust me, you'll get an answer to your question. And if you don't, you can always go under any video. It don't matter which video it is. Go under any video and leave a statement. And I'll read the statement and I'll make a video. If you don't see nothing on my channel, I'll make one specifically for you. But tell me what you did. Just don't tell it to me on this live stream. Say tacos for everybody. Hey, look, that's what's good. That's true. 100% is definitely a waste of time. Hey, look, bottom line, I want to be good just to educate people who don't know about boxing. Hey, look, all you got to do is keep watching it. Keep understanding that boxing, what you see on the front is not what's happening in the back. What you see in the front room ain't what's happening in the back room. Negotiations are being made. They're looking at what a guy got. They're looking at what a guy brings to the table. They're looking at how I can sell him by his story. They're looking at if he got talent. They're looking at who he beat, how he beat him, when he beat him, where he beat him. They're looking at how much money he made in the past as to how much money he can make in the future. They're looking at if it's a sellable fight. It could be two of the greatest names in the world, but if it's not a sellable fight, they're not going to put the fight together. Then you got to understand something. If a guy that wants to fight has a title, like Crawford, WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, any one of those titles disagree with that fight, then they're not going to sanction the fight. That means that he can fight this person, but the title's not going to be on the line. I wonder how much Boots would want to fight Terence Crawford with no titles on the line. Maybe the title people don't want that fight to go through, because you got to think that the title people want to control who holds the next title. They want it to be a guy that is at least through their organization or at least through their promotional companies that promote well with them. There's a whole lot of titles that Mayweather fighters couldn't get because the people that own the titles didn't want to deal with Mayweather. So Gervonta only held like 1 or 2 titles in his time, but Gervonta didn't care about the title. And a lot of times people don't care about the title because the title costs anywhere from $75,000 to $250,000. That means every time you fight, $250 off the top goes to the title person. So people give up the titles. Everybody don't want to hold them titles. Them titles are expensive. The Art of Fighting Without Fighting, Bruce Lee. I do not hit it. It hits all by itself. I mean, fighters make the fights happen more often than not. No, they don't. They do not. Fighters have nothing to do with the fight. Any fighter will tell you it don't got nothing to do with the fight. I could walk into a room right now and tell a guy I want to fight this guy. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. I could have $1 million I'm going to put up, and it don't mean nothing. The fighters have nothing to do with the fight. They just get online and talk trash. They tell you in the back room when you finish your fight, call out this guy. It's going to look good in the press. But that's the only thing they get to do. That's why fighters leave contracts, because they don't negotiate the fights. The only fighter in the history that we know of that has ever had a say-so in making his own fights was Mayweather. You know why? Because he owned his own promotional company. Gervonta couldn't go to Mayweather and ask Mayweather to make a certain fight. Mayweather decided who he was going to make that fight with. Fighters don't have nothing to do with no fight. I done been in the fight game so long, you cannot handpick your fights. I don't care who you are. You could be a billionaire. Jake, just because y'all see Jake Paul picking fights, because Jake Paul is a millionaire. Jake Paul is buying the fights. He buying who he think he can fight. He looking at whether it's going to make him some money. Make him some money, make the person that's helping him put the money up, make the promoters money, make the management team money. The press wants to see it. Yeah, he pick his own fights because he's his own promoter. But 90% of the fighters you see out here, they don't have no say-so. None. I know fighters that get shelled because they won't take the fight that the guy telling them to fight. That's going to be good for his career. They don't have no say-so in no fight. Errol Spence ain't never had no say-so. Errol Spence, the only thing he did at the end, they wanted Errol Spence to fight Terence Crawford. Errol Spence didn't want to fight Terence Crawford. Errol Spence at the end rallied for the fight. He asked for the fight. They said, "You sure?" He said, "Please, I need to fight this guy. I'm tired of hearing his mouth." They was like, "You can't beat this guy." Remember Rocky? Remember when Rocky wanted to fight Clubber Lang in the movie Rocky? I think it was Rocky 4, Rocky 5. Wanted to fight Clubber Lang, and Rocky's coach said he'd kill you. He said, "What you mean I'm good? I'm winning titles." He said, "You've been fighting has-beens. They set you up. They make you look like a great fighter, winning great fights. But you don't have no say-so. None." Hey, look, Boots is nothing. We're going to just get off of Boots because Boots is nothing. Boots can have all these titles. All Boots ever had was interim titles. I don't think Boots ever had a title. He had interim titles, which means basically it's a subsidiary title. Boots might have won a title from somebody. I'm going to Google it right now. If Boots had the titles that you just said he had, Boots would have had fights. Boots can't find a fight. He can't buy a fight. Let's see. He had the IBF from 23 to 25 and the WBA Super. That, like I said, he had some interim titles. He had the Ring Magazine title. That's just saying you good. You ain't had to beat nobody to get that for real. Hey, man, he held some titles. Couldn't find no fighters because he didn't want the fighters that they were offered him. That's why he couldn't find no fighters. Boxing been rigged, bro, since the mafia days, bro. You ain't know that? That's why people that don't know boxing, I ain't saying y'all don't know boxing, so don't get it twisted. But for people that don't know boxing, they think it's what you say. They think I could take my fighter. I could tell y'all some stories that y'all wouldn't even believe, but we're gonna say them for another day. You can't take a fighter and do nothing that they won't let you do with them. Promoters plan out their whole career and squeeze them as much as cash as they can. Look at Don King. Don King planned it out. He planned it out for Mike Tyson. Made Mike Tyson $500 million, and then Mike ended up owing him. And you know the Rocky I'm talking about. What is your opinion on Jake Paul strictly as a boxer? He's not really a boxer. He's a boxer. He's a boxer. Let's say this. I ain't gonna say he's not really a boxer. He's a lower level boxer with a little cash in his hand. If some of these lower level boxers had that much cash, they could pick their fights too. They already start their own promotional company. But what I do like of Jake Paul is a boxing promoter. And I'm going to tell you why. If you think about it, Devin Haney fought on one of Jake Paul's promotions. Jake Paul had a good idea when he put YouTubers against YouTubers and stuff like that. Celebrities against celebrities. Because it brought people to the crowd. Man, you introduced a whole level of people a whole different level of people to boxing when you did that. It's millions of people now that watch boxing because they came in watching a YouTuber fight a YouTuber or a streamer fight a streamer. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Look at I Show Speed. I Show Speed right now got the whole world looking at who he could beat running. Whoever thought that would be enough to make channels and make money? That dude is worth about $150 million. He's traveling all over the world and people are saying, I Show Speed. Hey, man, it is what it is. But, hey, look, man. Jake Paul is a good promoter. One, I give Jake Paul credit because he paid a woman the first $1 million. A woman. $1 million. And women ain't making, Clarissa Shields wasn't making $1 million. She is now, but she wasn't when he paid for the first $1 million woman a couple of years ago. So with that being said, why do you think fighters back then fought more than fighters? Because there wasn't a whole lot of fighters. I mean, I could be wrong, but do you believe the fighters played a role? Back then, yeah, but they didn't really play a role in it. This is what happened. Let me give you a history lesson on boxing. Boxing was run by the mafia. You didn't know that? Well, I just told you something. Boxing was run by the mafia. The mafia decided who they wanted to win the fight. That's how they betted on the fights. They said, hey, look, I need you to take a dive in the 7th round, take a dive in the 8th round. I need you to not show up for the fight. Just kind of don't be who you're supposed to be when you get there. And I need you to knock this guy out. And he's going to hit the ground as soon as you hit him. And they had his family held hostage. They had tabs over top of his head. All of that. Because the mafia was making hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars on boxing. Then the problem was they started putting people in the ring that wouldn't listen. People that didn't want to take that L. For various reasons. So then they won the fight, and then they would subsequently kick him out of boxing or break his arm or break his leg or kill him or whatever the case, get him for a rape charge, anything. Y'all know the story. Y'all remember the stories about the boxers that got hit with the rape charge? I can't remember the boxer's name that the man law was made after of. I can't remember the boxer's name, but they talked about it during the P. Diddy case. The P. Diddy case. They said they tried to hit P. Diddy with the man law, traveling across state to have sex with somebody. They got that from putting it on a boxer. I can't remember the boxer's name. Somebody probably gonna help me in a second. But they got it from putting it on a boxer. Because the boxer took all kinds of women, white women, black women. They only was concerned about the white women. He was taken from one city to another city so that you wouldn't see her coming out of the hotel room, etc., etc. And he was sleeping with her. And they made the man law. They said traveling out of state to sleep with somebody, blah, 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 became a law. So then that's where they end up locking him up behind that. Boxing been crooked since the day it started. Now, what happened? Why does boxing not appear to be as crooked now? You got different people running it. Back in the day, they wouldn't even let a black promoters promote boxing matches. Now they got black promoters and they got guys that just won't follow the rules. Like Jake Paul. Jake Paul started his own thing. Mayweather made it through with his own thing. Bottom line. So then you look at it like this. So what's happening? You got so many fighters out here because people are hearing that $1 million check, those 6 figures and those 7 figures and those $50,000 fights to fight nobody. I'm gonna build you up on making you $10,000 a fight. Then I'm gonna get you this $50,000 fight or this $100,000 fight at the end. So people are jumping in the game now. There's over 50,000 licensed boxers in the United States right now. Why? Not because they all good, because they can make a paycheck. That's why when you look at a lot of people's records, look at the records. Go and look at Gervonta Davis and Google, put the word Gervonta Davis box rec, BOXREC. That's how you spell box rec. Put anybody's name, box rec. Look at their first 20 fights. They're going to be fighting guys that's 3 and 13, 7 and 27, 14 and 92, still fighting. That's what they needed to pad them records, bro. They pad them records and get the right people to pay attention to you. And then all of a sudden, you in the game. You in the game, bro. OG Kicks, what's good, dog? Temporary titles, that's all it is. They make so many titles now that the boxing field is ran on titles. You got interim titles. You got you know, what I forgot what they call these titles. I'm talking too fast to remember all this stuff. But they got all kinds of titles. They got the interim titles. They got we fighting for the chance to fight for the title. That all that mess. That's a bunch of mess, bro. They just need to throw it around. Sinonis is garbage. You know that boy garbage. He couldn't move. That's why Boots beat him. Hey, look, the game of boxing is what it is. Say Jake Paul is a revolutionary in boxing. Not in boxing. Well, I could say this. He's the first lower level boxer to fight a champion. Just because he asked for him. You know how he got him in the ring? That $92 billion. He wouldn't have got him in the ring for a good 100,000. Jack Johnson. Y'all know exactly. I told you I couldn't think fast enough and I didn't want to stop talking to get my phone. Can't remember all these names, man. There's too many of them. They put the man law on Jack Johnson because he was sleeping with all kinds of women, taking them from city to city. They put the man law on him. If you don't know what that is, Google it. The same thing they tried to hit P. Diddy with, the man law. You want boxers to just be their own bosses, then nobody else is going to make no money. That means the referees don't get paid. That means the judges don't get paid. That means the arena don't make no money. That means you can't pick your fights the way you want to. You get to pick your own fights, but how you going to pay them? Somebody got to have money to pay them. You can call a millionaire right now, a big time. You can call Bill Gates and set up a fight for $100 million. Have Bill Gates put $100 million down but you know, a whole lot of people got to get paid. It's a system, bro. It's a system. But when you had Jake Paul, you had a guy that was already worth $40 million before he started. He started off with YouTube fights, and he was making. And Jake Paul had made $100 million since the game started. It's crazy out here, man. The game is twisted, bro, and that's where they're gonna keep bringing them up. It's not equivalent to wrestling, but it's almost like wrestling when you got a whole bunch of fighters that ain't supposed to be fighting. You know, it's all set up. It's like wrestling. Wrestling, you got The Rock and you got John Cena and you got a lot of other big names and you got guys that fight each other, but they don't really, you know, they probably could get better with what they got going on, but it looks gimmicky. Because it is gimmicky. It's gimmicky. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all being online with your boy on a Sunday. I got to get off here, though, man, because I got things to do, and I went out for my run already. And this is the time I normally go to the store with my wife. I don't know what we got going on today. But look, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all being up here. But please bring this same energy and bring this same conversation back to this channel tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. I'll be back on. Y'all know I do that Monday through Friday thing, and on Saturday and Sunday, I just pick the times. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all being up here, man. Once again, a lot of love go out to all of y'all. I love the boxing game. Y'all love the boxing game. I'm glad we could talk boxing talk. Let's get it on. Once again, it's your boy, Coach Carl. Mr. 58 is the new 28, and I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side because right about now, your boy got to go.